Hello, Captains. This is Kent again, and welcome to the Flight Show. So, one of the channel followers, Marcus Manula, or Manula, I'm wondering which way I'm supposed to be pronouncing it, but I hope I'm not hacking it up too bad, had asked if I could do a 777, a couple of flights for the 777 freighter. And as you know, I don't do freighters too often, but hey, I'm always up for a challenge. So, I looked to see who. First off, we know a few couriers that use the 777, one of which being FedEx, and I love this particular livery of FedEx with the panda bear on it. So I looked and saw, well, where does the 777 fly with FedEx? So I looked up on a pilot's life to see some destinations, and there is a real route that goes between Anchorage, Alaska, and it's RJBB in Japan, which is, I always forget the name of it, but it's the man-made island. It's going to come to me in just a second. Yeah, Kansai International in Osaka, Japan. So I was like, okay. I looked up on Flight coming on. Thanks. I looked up on FlightAware the actual flight that was taking place, that may have landed by now, between Anchorage and Osaka. So I downloaded it, put it in my PFPX, and put a flight, and we're going to go do this bad boy. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we're going to start up. It's off screen, so you can't see it, but I'm going to go ahead and start flight FSCrew.
Hi, Captain. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you? Fine. We had a few drinks last night. I got a little out of hand, but I thought we could keep this professional. But anyway, let's get to work. Okay, so first thing we need to do is arm our battery and start the emergency lights, make them armed, and then turn on our APU. And the nav lights to let them know we are in the cockpit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just knock out this. The door's like almost open, but not fully opened, and that's probably because we don't have any power. But we will in a moment. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call GSX in, because GSX is going to have the animations of the pilots coming to the aircraft. And GSX is not really designed to work with FSCrew, so we're just going to let that happen while we're working on everything else. Oh, but look. There was enough juice to open the door, which is fine. We'll see the power come on in just a moment. In the meantime, okay, we're going to pause a minute because since I have flown this so little, the power's just kicked in. I need to assign a few more keys, so give me just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I got my keys assigned. Now I can get to where I want to be in the way I want to get there. So, okay, so we have our PFX has calculated our fuel at 132,124 pounds of fuel. And our payload has a zero fuel weight of 418.4. Alright, there. Boom, got that.
Okay.
Thanks. Alright, so now we can get on to this CDU. Alright, I'd hate to do this in front of you, but I'm just going to do it real fast since you're here. We're going to also move this so that you can see both. I like to have this one from time to time. And we're going to, you can't see me doing it off screen, but we're going to give it a new position, instruments, and we'll call it 3. And we'll save it, and I will put my assigned key here, which is down 2 on the number pad. Boom. now we got that out of the way, but back to work. Okay, so we're reference airport is, by the way, before we do anything else, I gotta do my overheads, but for now, we'll let it go. I had to turn on the RDIR, forget how to pronounce that. But anyway, let's get back to work. So, we are at PANC, and we will load our right route, which is PANC RJBB1 company route, and this is FedEx. So FedEx, I suppose it's airlines, and that'll be 3658 is our flight, because I'm making it up anyway. Alright, so our departure, go down to our navs and we will input, it is a direct out, so we will be departing on 7 right. And I want to check over here, since we are going to have a southwesterly departure. Let's just take a look. And yeah, we just got nothing but vectors, so we'll just roll with it. We'll get to that inertial position in a minute. Alright, so route and arrival. RJBB. It may change, but we're going to put it in, depending on your company's policy, you'll put it in when you take off, and sometimes you won't. ILS 6, we're doing left, and our star is going to be, it's a direct as well, no star. So let's use our electronic flight bag to see if there's something conducive to what we want to do. We're coming in 6 left. And I believe I chose Z, ILS Z. So coming in from the southwest, could do Candy. Let's see what that looks like. Yes, Candy is exactly what we're going to do. So let's find it. I'll show it to you later. Candy B, no transition, route, activate. Excellent. Now let's just take a quick look. See if we have any discontinuities. And there we have one. Bring that. Alright. Great. Now we'll put in our inertial guidance. There we go. 0 fuel weight. Got it in. Reserves 5,000 pounds. Our cruising altitude is going to be 34,000 feet, or flight level 340, and we calculated our fuel and cost index to be 40. We'll do a D-rated takeoff, and we'll have 5% flaps. I'm sorry, not 5% flaps, but 5-degree flaps, and our center of gravity is 32%. Alright, we're good there. Now in terms of getting all of that taken care of, I'm done. Turn on the flight director.
I'm out for the walk around.
Okay, you do that. Meanwhile, I will get our altitude set. I'm just going to set it to our cruising altitude, since I'm not using ATC. But someone suggested a new one. I'll get into that a little bit later. For now, we'll just go ahead and get our plane prepped. Okay, so let's look at our flows. See where we are on them. I think, let's see here. Battery switch on. Yeah, we did all of that first part of the flows and everything with the first officer. So what we're going to do is we're going to advance this time until she comes back in the plane.
I'm back from the walk around. Everything looks good.
Thank you. Alright. You do your thing. Let's see where we are. And we have our last bit of cargo coming onto the aircraft, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's take take a look over here. All right. We are almost ready to be gone. So we're going to advance our time. And she is now started into her pre-flight flows. But what I do want to do is our V2 is 159 knots, so I'm going to go ahead and set our speed to 180. There. Alright. We don't have to worry about cabin announcements. We have no passengers because we are a freighter, but we will do the departure brief as soon as she's done with her flows. And our boarding is completed. So doors are automatic. Not GSX, but FSCrew is handling our doors right now, so that's excellent. They're doing that all of their own accord. Yeah, he's lowering away. I see she's just did her oxygen tests. Alright, we're almost ready for pre-flight checklist. But we'll do the departure.
Monitor radar display.
Yeah, you handle all that.
Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Getting that test out of the way? Good. Well, you know what? Since I got you here, well, you may not realize what I'm going to do is I'm going to
TCAS test pass.
get some of these other views I need. Alright, put that right there. Hit plus overhead. We're going to call this 2 real quick and save it.
I am ready for the checklist.
Excellent. Then we'll get on our way. We can do all that stuff later. First, I want to ask you.
Ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Alright, we're at a remote stand. The taxi route out to the departure runway will be as assigned by ATC. This airport does not use ground radar. We will use full thrust for takeoff. For the takeoff config, we'll use flaps 5. PACs will be on. Anti-ice is not required. No noise abatement departure procedure is required. Thrust reduction altitude is 1,000 feet. Acceleration altitude is 1,000 feet. Departure routing will be by the ATC assigned SID. As for concerns, there are no special factors for this departure. I'll be the pilot flying today. During the takeoff roll, you call any malfunction or warning and silence the oral warning. I'll call stop or go. I'll reject the takeoff or any warning or condition that significantly affects the safety of the flight. Before 80 knots, I'll reject the takeoff for any of the following. Takeoff config warning, system failures, activation of the master caution system, tire failure, unusual noise or vibration, abnormally slow acceleration if the side window opens, fire or fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning if the airplane is unsafe or unable to fly. Between 80 knots and V1, I'll reject for a fire or fire warning and engine failure, or if the airplane is unsafe or unable to fly. After V1, takeoff will be continued and no action will be taken before 400 feet other than to apply TOGA and to silence the oral warnings. Any questions?
No questions.
Departure briefing complete.
Alright, I was adding a vector departure for our runway real fast, so don't mind anything I just did. Alright, let's rock. Pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Captain, set the parking brake first, please.
I always mess that up. Pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 050. Altimeters 3017. Heading 050, altimeter 3017.
Heading 050, altimeter 3017. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Great. Alright, so we will be using GSX as Ultimate Ground Crew says I'm not in the parking spot.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback. Locking gear. Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Now I know you might be wondering, why is it that I didn't tell it to turn left or right? Because it didn't give me the option. So we're just rolling with it. Now hopefully they're going to stop this bad boy before I run off the runway. Looks like we're about to stop. Good.
Set parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Start 2.
Starting 2. Oil pressure.
Start engine 1.
Starting 1. Oil pressure.
Okay, good engine start. And then here he goes. Out of here, we're going to take a right-hand turn.
Unlocking gear. No turn disconnected. Bypass pit river.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down.
Left is clear. Right is
Neutral.
clear.
Check.
Left rudder. Right rudder. Neutral. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall. Checked. Auto brake. RTO. Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear. Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear on the left. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
You know, this plane the engines even sound different than the passenger airliner, which is really cool on the part of PMDG. Yeah, it's snowing up in Alaska. It must be snowing right now because I'm using active sky weather, so this must be the real world weather. Okay, we're going to turn here onto L. Then at Yankee, we will hang a left and then hang a right at Kilo. We'll go straight through this. We're going to cross the runway. We'll pretend that ATC has already given us clearance. Really nice weather effects, wouldn't you say?
Approaching. 3, 2.
Sorry, LNAV and VNAV. Now we'll hang a left at Yankee and then a right onto Kilo. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Runway entry procedures.
Check. Clear on the approach.
Approaching. 0, 6, right.
Talk about dramatic.
On runway. 0, 6, right.
Takeoff.
Check. Thrust set. $80 knots. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
$400 feet. Climb.
Flaps 1.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Speed check, flaps up.
after takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. Up. After takeoff checklist complete.
Alright, it is like almost zero visibility. Okay, so we now had a successful departure out of Anchorage, Alaska. We are now climbing out of here like a bat out of hell. Oh my gosh, it's such a
10,000 feet.
somewhere under all that soup is Anchorage.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty darn sure we just left there.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be arriving via ATC vectors. As for the approach, we can expect the visual. And the decision altitude for this approach is 200 feet. For the landing config, we'll use flaps 30. The landing runway condition is right. Auto brake, we'll use level 2. After landing, please leave the APU off. This airport does not use ground radar, so turn the transponder off when we vacate the runway. And it looks like we'll be using a remote stand today. The taxi route in will be as assigned by air traffic control. As for concerns, there are no special factors for this arrival. Any questions?
No questions.
Approach briefing complete.
Alright, so now quickly engage in our descent checklist.
Checked.
Descent checklist.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall. Checked. Notes.
Check.
Auto brake level 2. Landing data.
VREF 137. Minimums 200 feet.
VREF 137. Minimums 200 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Okay, so we're about to be in transition zone to our approach checklist. So let's see. As you can see, about to cross 18,000.
Are you sure?
Yeah, right there. Take a look at it. Turn at Datus, which is our next waypoint, which should be 6,000 above, which we are. So far, this seems to be quite a beautiful approach. And at the following waypoint, which is Berry, we will turn onto our phone.
Set.
I'm keeping an eye on our descent grades and speed, because I have my displays on the screens right below. So I'm not just admiring the view, I am keeping an eye on monitoring our descent grade and glide path. So, just so you know, I wanted to definitely give him an opportunity to see the elevators as we approach Kitasan. Flaps 5.
Speed check, flaps 5.
Set speed 190.
Speed 190. Set.
Still seems to be a bit obscure, but it should come to view very soon. Set speed 180.
Speed 180. Set. Fueling, not PFDX. Oh my gosh.
keep our eye on it. I think we can make it. They're completely unprofessional. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just I blame PFDX. That's all I got to say. I blame PFDX. No, I probably did something wrong. I don't know what, but localizer alive.
Check.
Arm localizer.
Localizer armed.
Glide slope is alive.
Check.
Gear down. Gear down.
Check.
Gear down. Set speed 170.
Speed 170. Set.
Absolutely no.
Check.
Speed brakes.
Checked.
Our VREF is 137. Arm approach.
Approach armed.
Set speed 142.
Speed 142. Set.
Flaps 15.
Speed check flaps 15.
Flaps 30.
Speed check flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Speed brake. Radio altimeter alive.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Landing checklist complete.
Okay, this is wonderful. And maybe it's because we're landing over the water and not a densely populated city, but I am rocking 30 frames per second right now, so I'm really excited. Alright, I will now take control. My aircraft. then what fun would there be in that? As one airline pilot once told me, you know, some of us actually like flying the airplane. I was like, yeah, I ain't even mad at that. I mean, we know it's a lot is automated, but hey, at the end of the day, you're still a pilot. Me being a sim pilot, but you get the point. Okay, we have a little bit of a drift, doing a little rudder. A little on the glide path. Adjusting. Okay, a little off center line, so a little left rudder.
1,000 feet. Approach stable.
1,000.
It is so gratifying to hear approach stable when you're flying it yourself. Of course it's going to be stable if you're using the autopilot flying the ILS, but can you do it yourself? That is gratifying. You got to think about it. Suppose this was like, you know, IFR flying. Could you maintain your flight director without using outside cues?
500 feet.
Alright.
Check.
Here, I have the instruments up below the screen, just so you know. A little bit of right along the rudder. Just a little bit. There we go.
100.
Gently touch it down.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Spoilers are up. Great. Manual braking. Manual braking.
Check.
Spoilers down. Okay to clean the up. Okay to clean
Check.
up the aircraft. All right. Flaps up. Oh, I forgot. I told her to clean up. She's doing that anyway. Turn on the APU. APU on.
APU is coming on.
We're going to turn here on to E9. And then R. Yeah, there they are waiting on me. Okay. Like I said, it's a little convoluted, but we got it together. There they are flagging me down. Remember, our turning wheel is recessed behind us, so Alright. Let's see here. AP was on. Shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist.
Check the hydraulic panel. Check the fuel pumps. Check the fuel control switches.
Go ahead and ask for GSX should, or FSCrew should be handling the doors. I think it's FSCrew that will handle the doors. Yep, they are. And we can move to the ground power unit, so we can now turn off the APU.
I am ready for the checklist.
Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Hydraulic panel. Set. Fuel pumps. Off. Flaps. Up. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Off. Shutdown checklist complete.
Secure the aircraft.
Okay. Okay, I'm done. See you outside.
Thanks. Well, everybody, there you have it. A little bit rare because I don't do the cargo flights so much, but I like them. I guess sometimes you just got to take the time to actually do them. Take a break from a pilot's life and do one by request. So, hope you enjoyed this. Appreciate you flying with me from Alaska to Kennesaw. Again, this is part of the stay-at-home series. So during the coronavirus, stay-at-home initiatives, like the governor just made a statewide essential travel only where I am, but the city has been doing it for the past 2 weeks. So we just want to encourage you to stay home so that we can stop the spread of the virus, so we can bring it to an end. So giving you plenty of content in a little bit of free time that I have, because I'm still teaching classes online. But I really appreciate you tuning in. Please support the channel, like and subscribe. Invite some people, give me a few thousand likes, because the more followers I have, the more resources I have to bring you more material. That being said, I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the virtual skies. Oh wow, cool. Look at the AI aircraft. I guess that's the flight engineer. Maybe we'll get some sushi after this.